Postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, or POTS for short. You know, when I graduated uni, POTS was something that you very rarely heard anything about. Like, it wasn't really well known, wasn't understood, and it didn't seem like many people had these type of issues as well, where nowadays it's almost like everybody knows somebody who has POTS or something similar. So let me explain to you what that is, because if you understand what it is, you've got some idea of how you can start managing it, even just from the information that you can get off our video section in our Facebook page. So basically what happens when you stand up, blood falls from the brain down towards your feet. When that occurs, the oxygen coming out of the brain creates a problem, so we need to negate that. So the first effect we have is our flight or fight centers fire up, and this causes our arteries to constrict, reducing the amount of volume, pushing blood back to your brain. The side effect from doing that, though, is it increases our blood pressure and increases our heart rate. And this keeps going. And the only thing that stops that is vagal activation, or a parasympathetic activity activation. And by doing this, we kind of put the foot on the accelerator with our flight or fight responses and on the brake, so we can maintain that vasoconstriction to keep the blood in our brain, but at the same time lower our heart rate back down. And that's what should happen every time you stand up. In people with POTS, when you stand up, that initial response sometimes happens not very effectively, but then we get this constant rise where that vagal activation doesn't seem to occur, and the heart rate just keeps going up and up and up and up and up and up, and quite often this will result in people fainting. There's a whole lot of symptoms that are associated with this, which often are basically stress-related symptoms, but there's also a key few things that we do understand about it. So what we do know, for example, is that people with hypermobility, excessive motion in joints, especially, for example, one little one that you can try is if you can take your thumb and then flex your wrist and touch it down onto your forearm, this gives you heightened risk for things like POTS. The other thing we understand with it as well is there seems to be a strong stress reaction with that. I've personally seen here a lot of people who have hypermobility of their jaw seem to be predisposed to it as well. And stress seems to be a big trigger as well. So it's not not just a matter of do you have hypermobility, will you develop it? It's more a matter of these comorbidities coming together to create this effect. And this is what's really important to understand, is that sometimes if you control these other factors, POTS may never actually eventuate to begin with. That's the theory, at least. Anyway, guys, I hope that gives you a bit of understanding on what POTS is and the mechanism that drives it. Our understanding it completely from a science perspective is not completely there as yet. The receptors, the mechanisms, all those things that are involved, but this gives you a bit of an understanding of what's actually going on and why that happens. What we do need to understand is that the heart gets faster and faster and faster, sometimes it gets less efficient, and therefore the result of that is we don't get oxygen to the areas that we need to, and that can lead to fainting and things like that. Anyway, guys, if you have any other questions, if you do suffer with POTS and you want more information, please just reach out. You can either post up below with a comment such as help me, or otherwise message me personally and I'll get in touch with you and try and help you in any way I can. Anyway, I'm Tachycardia from Spinewise, and we'll catch you in the next vid. Bye for now.